So here's another story for you. So I went on foreign exchange when I was in high school, and I met this guy named Teen Show, and we played a lot of music. It was our dream to like play concerts together. And the idea was he would come to the US and we'd do concerts together. And fast forward, I was in university, and I realized like he's not coming to the US. If we're gonna do concerts together, I have to go somewhere. So I saved up, I sold everything I had, and I went to Argentina. And that's kind of how I started this whole digital nomad story years and years ago. So my reason's a little different than other people. Once I left, I realized that like it's a lot easier to maintain, save, and grow when your bills are like half, right? So if I can make money in dollars and spend in pesos, that's like a huge advantage. That gives me time and freedom to grow and develop myself in ways other people don't have opportunities to do. I think reasons why people nowadays they want to become digital nomads is because they first of all you want to see the world, see new cultures, eat new food, obviously, right? Learn new languages, like that's amazing. I also think it's freedom. Having the freedom to be able to wake up and say, like I'm kind of tired of this city. Why don't I see where else I can go? Like also having the ability to control your schedule. I notice a lot of digital nomads that I know, they all control their schedules. They don't like yes, they work for jobs and stuff, but the job doesn't really dictate you have to work 9 to 5. It's not like that. The job dictates you have to work 40 hours a week and this needs to be done. They build their schedule within that framework and get work done when they need to. And I find that actually makes people a lot more productive. So I think there's a lot of reasons why. Another reason is like people want to retire. That's always a good reason to become a digital nomad. My parents are working on doing that now. I'm trying to help them with that transition. It's kind of hard for them because it's a different generation, but yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons why that happens. I think some are, some aren't. Like, because there's some problems, right? Because like all of a sudden the 9 to 5 goes out the window. So you're
Yeah.
gonna have to have some type of time tracking, production tracking metrics that go on. Like, yeah, companies track production, but usually when it's presential, it's a little bit different. When somebody's far away, you don't know if they're sick, if they're asleep, or what's going on. So communication all of a sudden changes. So, like digital nomads, they need to be a lot more autonomous when it comes to communicating. That's a really important thing. So, they need to report up to the chain of command a lot more and have really good communication when it comes to what they're doing, what they're not doing, right? That's already a really big change because, like, when you're sitting across the room from somebody, you can walk over and look and see what they're doing, you
Yeah.
know? But a really, really good digital nomad that's in the workplace will tell you what they're doing as they're doing it when they're working and when they're not working, right? It also changes blurred lines between like when you're able to talk to them and not because it's like you don't know what their schedule is quite as much. They might tell you, they might schedule a meeting with you, and that's fine. But in other times, like with my employees, like I always make sure like all the work stays within one communication channel. Therefore, if they're not working at a certain time, they can turn it off. And I don't expect instant responses from them.
Mm.
I expect like I'll message them. I expect them to respond within about a day about something. If there's something I really, really need, I'll have someone on call for that, right? And I'll schedule that call. But generally speaking, things don't happen like that. It's a different culture. So our company's prepared. I think it's hard. It's more of a measure of productivity and less of a measure of amount worked. I say no to a lot of people. I think personality plays a big role. If you're not somebody I can foresee having a good, eh, like for example, having a coffee or beer with you. If I can't have a coffee or beer with you, I probably don't want you as a client. You know what I mean? It's just my mindset, right? So
Yeah.
but I do see a lot of people, they kind of get stuck in that, oh, but I need the money or I need the security. And so they chase that anyway, and they kind of get pigeonholed into doing things that they don't really want to do just because they want that security or that like guaranteed paycheck from said corporation or whoever it is, right? But I don't think it's necessary. I think if you really try to get better every single day and you're good at what you do and you take it seriously, eventually you're going to be so good that you should have options. And if you don't have options, it just means that you're not talking to enough people. That's what I think.